Hello, Jackie Ogena here to share some more from the book I'm reading, Fruit from a Poisonous Tree by Melvin Stamper. You can get it on Amazon. I have been reading this book for over a month, but if you're just tuning in, I wanted to share a little bit about the author and to tell you why I'm reading this book. Melvin Stamper has experienced a remarkable life journey few of us will ever experience. He served his country as a U.S. Marine in Southeast Asia, a police chief, railroad special agent, a CIA intelligence source, private investigator, industrial engineer, a pilot, law professor, legal researcher, and an investigator with the Department of Justice. His analytical skills were honored by all of his experience and education to the investigation of his life, the United States government. And on the back of his book, this is the second book he wrote. The first book was High Priest of Treason, the Federal Reserve. And he's now written this book, which will inflame all who read it. This compelling story could be only told by someone who has dedicated much of his adult life to research and investigation. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. What you will learn will change your life. He challenges each of us to wake up and hold government accountable now before it's too late. In his first book, High Priest of Treason, was just the beginning, and this appears to be the culmination of all of his efforts. The fruit from a poisonous tree will linger in your thoughts for months, if not years, to come, guaranteed. Thanks to the Patriot Act, the average American has no freedom from having government agents strip search his children, rummage through his luggage, ransack his house, sift through his bank records, and trespass in his fields. Today, a citizen's constitutional rights to privacy can be nullified by the sniff of a dog. A judge has been granted by the Lord God Almighty immense power to judge his creation, we the people. But along with that power goes immense responsibility to the Lord on the day of judgment. He will hold the judge to a higher standard of judgment. So I just want to say that I wanted to read this book because it's very informative. It tells us a lot about the United States, the 14th Amendment, how our rights have slowly over time been violated. And it's just information that you need to know. And so I will pick up today on federalism versus nationalism. In plain effect, these matters have created a legal, or rather induced political phenomenon, federalism, which refers to the division and sharing of power between the national and state. The opposite of federalism is nationalism, which is a strong attachment to a particular country, loyalty and devotion to a nation, also called patriotism. To give a general background of the reasoning behind the two terms, the founding fathers, such as Thomas Jefferson, were concerned with the Federalists' ulterior motives. Jefferson sensed that the Federalism were primarily interested in turning America into one big commercial plantation under their rule. The Constitution reflects the general concerns of Jefferson. The document's predominant commerce clause makes obvious its commercial purpose. Accordingly, if one would observe the political scheme that evolved in America, he would establish that in the 1900s, 1800, Jefferson's ultimately overthrew the Federalist Party and with his Democratic Republic Party. This took the Union out of the control of the elite or the Federalists and put it under the control of the American people. Soon after its establishment, the party split into two parties, and the two parties are still in existence today, the Democratic and the Republican Party. The same snake with two heads. These two parties, unbeknownst to most Americans, are acting secretly as Federalists. Our real system of American law allows too much freedom. On a mass basis, people could not be controlled to direct their labor toward the goal of the elite. Instead, the current feudal system was induced unwittingly via the voluntary system put into place by the 14th Amendment to keep matters under the perpetual control of the Federalist. Manifesto in 1848 said, socialism leads to communism. To implement socialism on a union-wide basis, the 14th Amendment was enrolled via force of the Civil War. The general purposes of such obvious yet overt measures were to tame and train the masses to become a commercialistic, economic slave force whereby the elite would profit. Communism is nothing more than another name for federalism. And it is basically a system that controls many nations centrally with the aim of commercialism. Accordingly, if one would investigate, all 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto are applied in American law. So, as you can see, we pretty much are like the Federalists. And tomorrow I will read Remedy of Natural Rights and Protections. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good day.